Today's Zeb's going to be putting this stack of old doors to work. We divided up which doors are going where, and Zeb's going to be framing out all the kids' bedrooms, laundry room, and bathroom today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and all these doors are different, so I have to make the door jambs all a little larger or smaller.
You got that.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
It's no big deal. And we're going to be showing you guys the cubby for the refrigerator and the freezer. We've got that almost finished out, and we'll get those plugged in so we can start eating at the farmhouse. Tell them what you're doing.
So we were in Lowe's, and Jamie discovered that they make a bead board, a faux bead board out of plywood.
I'm going to show you guys up close because you can't really tell from there. So you can see it's about probably 3 1/4 inches wide, and it's got these ridges. So it makes it look like beadboard, but it's actually just one big panel. And when it's painted, it's going to offer a nice relief to all the shiplap. It'll go vertical where the shiplap is horizontal. Okay, so here is the other half of our fake refrigerator framing out wall situation. Zeb's got his nail gun and he's gonna do some nailing.
I'm just gonna nail it up here, and then we'll put the shelving on top of that. Is that the self-gapping shiplap? Or the Jamie gapping shiplap?
No, I'm just lining it up on the other side. As long as this is level and it lines up over there, I don't care.
Someday we'll be done priming.
You know what? Next time I'm just gonna be like, hey Zeb, buy a sprayer that actually works with primer.
So it will work with primer. I don't want to spend 4 hours cleaning it.
I don't want to spend 20 hours rolling my life away. Well, it's totally worth priming with the shellac-based primer. I wish that the Salvation solution came in like a 5-gallon bucket. But I think that when we do the family room, because we'll get all of it done at once, it's gonna need to be sprayed.
We'll just spray it and then I can clean it.
Yeah, because for the 4 hours it takes you to clean it, it'll save me 40 hours of rolling.
It probably won't take 4 hours to clean it. I'll just have to have like a gallon of cleaner that I can just cycle through it, and then I can run water through it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I don't bother priming the bottom because our baseboards are like 10 inches thick, so it doesn't need to be done.
So we were talking about it the other day when I was installing the door. I have 17 more doors left to install, but Jamie has 4 more rooms left to shiplap.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose lot in life is worse, but I just feel like we'll just keep doing it. And one day we'll wake up and we'll be like, oh my goodness, there's no more shiplap and there's no more doors to hang. Painting the inside of this serves no purpose other than my dad told me that over time, wood and wood products can warp, and if you paint them, it seals that wood in and makes it less susceptible to warping over time. I don't know if it's true. Do you know if it's true?
He's 87, we're gonna go with it.
All right. Man behind the curtain is Zeb. He's just holding that up so that way I can spray this area and not get paint all in my nice pantry.
Or spray the door we just painted black.
Well, the door's open.
I left the window open because it's hot today. And I wanted to see if it'd be breezy and maybe help them cool off a little bit. We've got some adventurers. They're making a mess. Look at that, they're kicking that all out of their pen.
All right, Zeb's ripping off the tape.
This is the water for the ice maker in the freezer.
Well, way to just fling that dust on the floor.
I'll move it. We can sweep.
That's all right. Ain't nobody gonna know what's behind the fridge but me, us and 150,000 YouTube followers.
Okay.
All right, next.
You know, I gotta get a new screwdriver that I haven't ground down because I've been using these chisels for everything.
I thought I was the only one that used the chisels.
No way, these are great for this, except for they're a little wide and sometimes.
Yeah, I like to use the little one. That one is a little bit precariously large, but
it's doing work.
It's working. It's the wrong tool for this job, Zebre. So we're getting ready to do the master bedroom buffet because we have the sink all ready for it and both faucets. The very first thing I do when I'm getting started to do these vanities, everything gets Salvation Solution. I've gone to just using the clear for a few reasons. One, because it's nice and thin, so it goes on really well, doesn't leave any ridges. And two, because when I distress, sometimes when I use the white, you can see the primer color come through the color of the paint. And so I've just really been loving the clear. Plus I feel like it goes a little bit further. So we're gonna get 2 coats on here, let it dry, and then we'll get started with DIY speedboard.
So this buffet came to us like this. The little applique was coming off, it was poplar and it was all peeling away. So we went ahead and just peeled it off and sanded that smooth. We're gonna go ahead and paint this all one color. The legs weren't painted when we picked it up, but we'll go ahead and fix that too. We are going to probably have to cut off some of these feet. That way it's the right height for counter height.
Well, and this one's broken anyway, so we'll just cut them right off at this square and then it'll sit at exactly the right height. It's like magic. For everybody who didn't want us to cut up the buffet, I apologize. It's going to get more awesome.
Woohoo! Sits right on top.
So you see this little piece right here? This is not the first piece we've found like that, but I wanted to use it as a prime example. People say, why can't I just use latex paint? I'll sand it. I don't care if you sand your piece ahead of time. Latex paint just peels off. This was painted like I don't even know how long ago, and I primed over the top and it's still peeling up a little bit. Just peeling off there. I'm gonna sand this a little bit and reprime it, and then I'll put DIY paint over it and it'll stick. But that's why you don't lose latex. Here's more. Big old piece just peeled right off of that thing. Don't use wall paint on your furniture.
You painting it all one way, all one direction?
Yeah, they painted it like 5, but it's all right. It's cool.
And this is going beadboard just like the rest of the buffets in the house.
Well, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we want them to all kind of match. It's a little bit more watered down than usual, not because the paint's watered down, but because my paint was a little thick. And so I just added water to it, but then I added too much water. I left the lid off is what happened. Had to reconstitute it. On the bottom, I'm just gonna paint down to here, right? Because we're cutting those feet off?
Yep.
All right.
It's gonna lose about 3 inches on the height,
Perfect.
which will make it just right.
Just right. What is this carpentry sorcery here?
This is called guessing.
Good job. Do you see how I use the foam? Protect the floor? That's next level. Now you take that block and you use it to cut this side.
Jamie says it's too hot to turn the fan off, but she's sanding all the details by hand. That way, if there's any like bumps or any small drips or something that we missed, she's just smoothing that out.
Well, this was not its first paint job, so it's a little special.
This hardware here with this water trough faucet is from IKEA.
As is the sink.
Yep, sink is also from IKEA.
The faucet I bought because Zeb mentioned that he really likes this style.
I do. I think it's cool, and I think it looks cool when the water's coming out of it. Unfortunately, it's going to be a few weeks before we get water hooked up to this, but I promise we'll show you how we do that. All right, so on this, there's just a nut that goes up through there. The rubber seal goes on, and then you tighten up this nut on the bottom side.
Do you hear the hum? It means ice is coming. This is why we have the ginormous cubby here, because we're kind of trying to tone down the awesomeness that is my fridge and freezer that you walk into the front room and see. But we're super excited about this with 5 kids. This is gonna be awesome. In the meantime, we are going to staple the furniture blanket over the top so that way they're protected unless we need to get into them because we still have a lot of construction to do. Do you want to see inside? Oh! Now take note how clean this is because it probably will never be this clean once we move in.
The last time it'll be that clean, but that's just the fridge.
Just the refrigerator. Over here, behold the freezer that is very much ready for all the Costco pre-made food. And ironically, the ice maker is the same size as a regular freezer. Obviously, this needs some silicone and top coat. We're gonna be using 4 coats of Sweet Pickins top coat. So in the next few days, we'll get those on there. Comment below with what handles you would put on because this did not come with the original hardware and I'm a little bit torn if I wanna do cast iron or glass, I don't know.
I think the little knobs that you used in the pantry would at least look good on the sides and maybe even down the center, but they don't have backers.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
So we got a little bit of framing in, the fridges got done, and I promised you guys I was gonna give you a walkthrough of the upstairs, but it's not quite done, so I'm gonna finish framing it in between today and tomorrow, and then we'll probably do that sometime next week.
And maybe we'll have ice next time.
Maybe.
If you love this video and you like the products we use, go to JamiRayVintage.com. If you're interested in seeing what kind of knobs, home decor, and clothes we have, visit JamiRayVintageHome.com. Both those websites help support our channels and make more videos like this. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.